PSELI started when the Wallace Foundation began to look at research about the value of socio-emotional skills and also how schools and other youth-serving organizations can build and promote these skills with kids. The important question that we're hoping to answer in PSELI is, if urban schools and their after-school partners work together to improve and align experiences and climate, to foster children's socio-emotional learning, will students benefit? And perhaps most importantly, what does it actually take to do that kind of work?
The PSELI research is important because it offers key insights from the first 2 years of a large-scale initiative, right at a time when interest in SEL is outstripping empirical guidance about how to implement.
We selected 6 school districts and 6 out-of-school time intermediary organizations that worked in communities to coordinate out-of-school time services. We're also working with partnerships that are mirrored in 38 schools across these 6 communities.
So the communities approached SEL implementation in 4 ways. First, by the elementary school and the after-school programs partnering together to make their SEL work mutually reinforcing.
The world of in-school traditional K-12 model and out-of-school time have not always historically spoken the same language. There's different times, there's different sets of expectations. There's certainly a different workforce. And so in order for us to be able to coordinate effectively at the outset, by design, we were going to have to be very clear about the ways that our partnership would manifest. So what we decided to do together collectively was that the best course of action was for us to develop our own SEL out of school time scope and sequence. And what we did was we built an SEL Dallas pacing guide. It was very effective toward ensuring that it helped all partners very clearly understand the requirements for participation, everybody at the table.
Second, by instructors offering explicit instruction to their students in SEL skills. So just as an example of this, it might be a teacher not just asking students to work together in groups in, say, a math class, but also offering explicit instruction about how to work together productively. The third way they did this was to develop the adults' SEL skills first before those adults could then turn around and effectively teach SEL skills to children.
Building adult capacity helps to create a climate and culture where everyone is intentionally practicing looking inward, working on oneself, and at the same time looking at the way that we interact and relate to others. Typically, we find that in education, it's all about teaching young people how to do things, right? And so starting with the adults really helps to build that integrity of purpose. So we created professional learning solutions that include trainings that are scaffolded intentionally, accompanied by coaching and modeling in real time with adults that really help them to build first and foremost intrapersonal skills. Am I aware of my thoughts, feelings, and emotions? Am I aware of how I am interacting with others? And then the interpersonal skills have to do with how does that show up in my relationship with peers, and how is that showing up in my interactions with youth?
And then the fourth way they went about this was by working together to create a positive in-school and out-of-school culture and climate.
Positive climate does not exist by osmosis. It takes time, it takes growing, it takes learning. That common belief, understanding, what is SEL? What is it not? What are the benefits that it reaps when the joint can come together in and out of school time to align with specific, consistent practices, expectations that we would love to see blossom in young people. A warm welcome really is just an opportunity and practice where every student is greeted. A student is always going to know that there's going to be an adult saying what's up to them, giving them a high five, giving them a fist bump throughout the space. And so we started off with very low hanging fruit in that, with just getting everyone used to the practice of anytime we're in a space with young people, we are greeting them, even if the student doesn't do it. We really focus on the adult practice in that. So warm welcomes is just basically, hey, I see you. I see you, young person. I know your name. I'm happy to see you. Let me know if there's some supports that you need.
SEL is power. Social and emotional learning skills actually allows individuals of all ages, children and adults, to be able to unlock control that we can have in our own lives by being able to know ourselves. And so as we think about how we're reframing social and emotional learning for the broader community, this is a beautiful opportunity for us to show the efficacy and how it's done well systemically, and how important it is to helping young people recognize their own self-worth, value, and ability to move in society the way that they want to. I think that this is going to be a powerful outcome that comes from this work as well.
When we began work in PSELI, no one expected that we would end up ending the initiative in the middle of a global pandemic. But of course, that is what's happened. And it has had a massive impact on all of the communities and the work that they're doing. But it also has given us an opportunity to expand the learning agenda somewhat. And so RAND, our research partner, is looking at how SEL can be used by children and adults to help mitigate some of the effects and trauma that's caused by COVID. And these 6 communities are beginning to think about how they can use the skills and tools that they've been building, how to expand them beyond their work in PSELI and make it a feature of their plan to bring children back into school.